did some things, some painting, some polishing. I didn't do any polishing, someone else did. If I did polishing, this would be terrible. Oh, and I have holes in my thongs. I need to buy some new ones. I'll spend more money on the AE86. Or buy new shoes. So this was just a bit of a work on the rear bumper. As you know, it was already painted blue, but I had to sand it back so we can prep it for the Raptor liner. The bits where the license plate lights were, I had to fill in with our fiberglass filler, then a bit of light filler on top, and then the rest of it is a pretty basic sand. Now, just to show you, that was the front bumper that we had done. That's what the rear bumper will get coated in as well, the same Raptor liner stuff. I'm also going to use it on the interior. I've just cleaned most of the junk out. I'm not going to paint the whole interior of the Raptor liner. I don't have enough, but there are some spots where I really want to coat it. You can see the slight rust there on the seat mounts, not on the body deadener, just on the metal sections where it might rust again or get moisture onto it, just to give it a general cleanup before I put sound deadener on top of the old sound deadener. Like I said, I was going to use the Raptor liner. So now the bumpers are both Raptor lined, masked off, and I've just primed the top sections again after it's set. So we get to do the two-tone blue like the rest of the Sprinter. Hopefully my tape lines are straight. The light sort of plays with your sight a little bit, but it's straight as I can see. And we'll throw some blue on this, pull it off, and then we'll chuck a bit of clear on it as well. So the bumper's all done now with the clear coat. Got that line pretty straight, I think. Bumpers are pretty wonky, but whatever. After those brackets are done, we'll throw them on the car and the lights, and it'll look pretty snazzy. Also just cleaned up the bonnet stay, put the grommet in, painted the bonnet stay because it was rusty, and got the little clip as well, just chucked in for now, just so I can use the bonnet properly. Now I've just done this section here in the Raptor liner, just to clear up those bits of bare or very lightly painted metal. I remember the Raptor liner has a hardener in it, so it will really help to keep this from rusting again, or hopefully for a bit longer than what it is. And even already it looks way better. So after that we'll get the sound deadener in on top, in between those sections, and it'll come up pretty good. So this is the sound deadener we're using. Ping Jing, or Ping Ling I think it's called. It's pretty thick. Has an aluminium sheet in the guts of it, and just a sticky back which you just pull the backing off to stick down if I had fingernails, but you know, I get it off eventually. I have to use a knife sometimes. And it's a pretty decent size, and layout is pretty basic, pretty straightforward. It's just like a jigsaw puzzle. I'm just going to do a single layer over what's already there. If I need to do any more, I'll probably just end up using a bit of carpet because I don't have enough sound deadening to do the whole thing, but it'll do. So the sound deadening's in. It looks way better already. I didn't have enough to do the transmission tunnel, but I don't think I'm going to need to put it in there. It's fine. But just that Raptor liner and the sound deadening has just refreshed the floor pan, and it looks way better. Really happy. I also picked up a pair of brand new Recaro replica bucket seats. I know it says crank on there, but they're a direct copy of some Recaros that I really like, and they have to be reclinable, so I can still use the rear seat. It's just a rule that we have in Australia. And the seats are ADR approved, and it's the right colour scheme, and I'll get the rear seats trimmed the same as these. The height's a bit of a pain because the floor pan in the 86s is quite high, so it's a bit of a pain to get in the right spot. But that's a steering wheel I'm using too. It's just a twin cam steering wheel, so that'll be one of the last things to put in though. So I had to put some filler over this section because of some paint runs. Used a bit of 12 or 1500, and I put tape around the outer edge so I don't really sand much on the actual paint section, and to clean it up. And that's just a picture of my steering lock and easy to access calipers. It looks like I got lots of steering lock because I didn't have the guard on it, but yeah, looks cool. I love that tire.
What's he saying?
Thankfully, I got the filler off without wrecking the paint. Yay! Now we're jumping all over the place at the moment, but these are my rear seatbelts I got redone. They changed the webbing, and it's all ADR approved in Australia. I got sent to a place in WA to get done. They reuse the brackets. They just paint them for you, and the original buckles if they're in good condition, which they were. And also I think they refreshed the actual retractor section as well. But yeah, same thing again, just the same plates, just painted. Original trim that they have to put through, you don't forget to give them that. I'm going to paint it with the hood bumper trim paint, the buckles and stuff, because they're all blue. I've already done this one here. I've already painted this buckle. I didn't paint that, I just painted that part there with the trim paint, just a couple of coats. It come up pretty nice. Hopefully it wears okay. Also did the actual clip section, which is originally blue. Once again, I don't know how it's going to wear. We'll see how that car works out in the future. But I didn't want it to be blue with a black strap. And you can see here, it's still blue. That's the color it used to be. Doesn't really blend in with the black strap. And then now you can see there, this looks a lot neater. And with that, so it comes up okay.
It's leveling with 3000 by hand. And that's the result. The wobble is obviously the fiberglass. I know you know that.
Now, I didn't get any shots of the guy doing the detailing of the Sprinter. I didn't really want to get in the way of him doing his job, and I wasn't sure if he would like me videoing him doing his work. But it's all detailed now, and I've got some shots to show you. It took about a day and a half to get done. If you're interested, I'll put a link in the description of the fellow who did the work on his Facebook page. Really nice guy, and really professional, and I was happy with the work. My paint job is not perfect, so I wasn't looking for a perfect finish. I just wanted him to make my job, the work that I did, look better. It's like being a terrible welder but a professional grinder. So he smoothed out what he could. There are some imperfections, not because of him, because of my work, some scratches and stuff. But overall, I'm very happy with the finish for my first complete paint job. I've learned a lot of lessons, and yeah, let's have a look.